Hey, Bill O'Reilly here, another YouTube bonus, and we are very pleased that you are with us. A couple of notes, my new book, Confronting Evil, comes out next Tuesday, September 9th. We hope you check it out. Putin on a cover, the Ayatollah, Mao, Hitler, and 11 other guys inside, all guys. I couldn't find a woman to rise up to the level of evil that we were analyzing. So that's coming out. Now, one of the most evil things on the planet is racism. And I have a chapter in Confronting Evil about the slave traders in America and how they became the richest men in the world, by selling human beings, black human beings, and their mentality and all of that. It is so wicked, and that's the word. There's no justification. You can't. If you hate another human being because of the color of that person's skin, you're evil. Flat out, that's it. Okay? Same thing with religions. If you hate the Jews, or you hate the Catholics, or you hate the Muslims, if you hate anybody on the basis of their skin or their ethnicity or their religiosity, then that is an evil act of hatred. Now, in America, the left loves to call the right racist. They do it all the time. They branded me racist almost every day when I did honest reporting. Guys like Spike Lee, for example. He's white men this, white men that. You see it on NBC News all the time. They fired 2 of their commentators for going over the line, but you know where their sentiments lie. So it's like if you are conservative or traditional and you take a stand against the murders in Chicago, for example, or you oppose Joe Biden's complete apathy, you're a racist. You're a racist. Al Sharpton has made millions peddling that. Millions and millions of dollars the man has made. I shouldn't say made, but he's acquired by doing this. You're a racist, you're a racist, you're a racist. Okay, so in Chicago, in the last 10 years, and we reported this yesterday, 7,000 people have been murdered. 80% of them black. And most of the perpetrators, the killers, are black. And the cycle of violence in Chicago and other cities as well, but it's most visible in Chicago. The cycle of violence is unending. The city and the state of Illinois are run by liberal people, okay, far left progressives. Brandon Johnson is the mayor of Chicago. Johnson should want added protections for the poor people on the South Side who are getting slaughtered by drug gangs and terrorized by them. He should want to see that situation improve, but he doesn't. President Trump has offered Johnson National Guard and federal agents to stop the madness. As a reference point, since the Guard and feds went into Washington, crime has dropped 50% in 19 days. So there's no doubt that sending federal authorities into Chicago would save human lives. No, Brandon Johnson does not want it. Roll the tape.
Do you believe that the streets of Chicago would be safer if there were more uniformed police officers on the streets of Chicago?
I believe the city of Chicago and cities across America would be safer if we actually had, affordable housing. Look,
okay,
I'm not saying that
that's not the question I asked. My question is, and I just need a yes or a no, do you believe the streets of Chicago would be safer if you got all of those other extraordinary programs put back into place, which do have a history of being successful, if that's complemented by having 5,000 more cops on the streets of Chicago?
I don't believe that we should narrow it down to just police officers, Joe, is what I'm saying. That is an antiquated approach.
All right, he doesn't want to solve the problem. Oh, if we had more affordable housing, there'd be fewer murders. No, there wouldn't. The drug gangs are killing people because they want to make money selling narcotics, And the people that they are killing are rivals, and the innocents get caught in the crossfires and the turf wars. So, the guy is a moron. I'm sorry, but he is. This is Mayor Johnson. Now, the governor of the state doesn't care either. J.B. Pritzker. Roll the tape.
You're going to hear people, especially this past weekend, 54 shot, 7 dead.
Yeah.
They're going to say the city's not safe. Would you ask your friends to ride the L after midnight or after, 9 o'clock at night even to come down to the city from O'Hare?
Look, big cities have crime. There's no doubt about it. But let's just pay attention to what President Trump is doing targeting Chicago. He's overlooking red states that have much higher crime rates. Much higher.
That's just not true. Total lie. He's not overlooking anything. The stat that Pritzker throws out, and this is whataboutism. Okay, and I'll get to that in a moment. He goes down to Mississippi. We have a very scant population, and there are 4 murders in a population of 1,700. You're going to have a higher percentage rate than in any major city. And that's what these guys do. It's sleight of hand. It's BS. The question is, you got 7,000 dead, Governor, in your state, and you don't have one program, not one, to stop it. And that's the truth. But here's Pritzker. No, that's worse over there. It's worse in Rwanda. It's worse in Thailand. Oh, my God. Okay, so back to the racism thing. This is passive racism on the part of Johnson and Pritzker, because they're not protecting poor African Americans from violence. They refuse to do it. And you could get a psychiatrist in there all day long and analyze them. The fact of the matter is they have failed and will not admit they have failed. Now, there is a reason, okay? Because if they say to the people, I want to stop it, but I can't, then you look like you're an idiot and shouldn't hold a job. Cold and flu season coming on up. We all know it. And it really is nothing to take lightly. So when people start getting sick all across the country, medications disappear. Everybody wants it at the same time. So it's very, very smart to have a pharmacy you can count on, like All Family Pharmacy. Right now, they're helping Americans get ahead of the curve with 10% off antibiotics, antivirals, other essentials. You know how important it is to have the right meds when you get sick, particularly when your kids get sick. You don't want to be going into the doctor's office, spending all the time. You want to have them at your home. So if you have a few months' supply, you don't have to worry. And that's what we're doing here. If you believe in medical freedom, okay, and taking care of your family, as I do, this is the pharmacy for you. Please go to allfamilypharmacy.com/Bill. Use code BILL10 to save 10%. But the bigger question is, you cannot allow an ethnic group, any ethnic group, to be brutalized and look the other way and not do anything about it. And if you do, you're a racist, passive racist. Now, last night, on Wednesday night, I was on with Stephen A. Smith, a very prominent African-American broadcaster. I'm going to play you what he said about the situation and then what I said. Roll Smith.
When you look at Pritzker, right now, what you should be doing is this. Excuse me, we don't get this together. I'm going to let the president do what he suggested. I'm going to get the help of the federal government to put a stop to this. He could say something that simple, but it would be giving the president credit.
That's right.
It would be giving the other side credit. And obviously, that's where politicization kicks into play, because people are of that mindset, thinking along those lines, that it's all about politics because you don't want to receive the obvious help that you need.
Yes.
It's just inexcusable.
And that's a good word. It's inexcusable. And the racist label should be bannered up there, okay? Because it's outrageous. Poor Black Americans need to be protected. All right. And then I rounded up the Cuomo broadcast on News Nation by saying this. Go. These people, Pritzker and Brandon Johnson, the mayor, cannot admit it. They can't admit it, that it's their fault. Nothing is done to stop the murder in the poor neighborhoods. They won't admit it. They can't admit it. So Pritzker actually said to the press, the motivation for Donald Trump to bring in more protection in the form of the Guard and federal agents is that Trump wants to establish a Nazi hierarchy in this country. Pritzker said that. Now, if you don't think that's a lie, then you don't know what the Eighth Commandment means, okay? That is so insane. It's like nothing I've ever heard. Now, the question becomes, will Pritzker and Johnson pay a price for all the death, violence, and destruction wreaked upon African Americans in Chicago? Will they pay a price? Legally, they won't. Can't do anything about it. People of Chicago keep voting these people back in. Okay, that's on them. So the answer probably is no. They're not going to pay any price at all. But to condemn Donald Trump, whether you hate him, like him, in the middle, to condemn him for trying to take action to save lives, because it looks to me that the President of the United States believes that Black lives matter, while his progressive opponents do not believe that. Thank you for watching this YouTube bonus. I'm Bill O'Reilly. You can reach me at bill@billoreilly.com. bill@billoreilly.com. I'd like to hear from you, and we'll see you next week.